Hello dear students, this is Amir Sheikh and I welcome you all in this online lecture. Today I am going to discuss another point from your chapter, that is from organic synthesis actually, that is from chapter number 3, formation of carbon-carbon bond, and your name of the topic that will be discussed in our today's session is an uses of acetylides in organic synthesis. So I am Zamir Sheikh, Faculty of Chemistry. So on the behalf of Department of Chemistry, I welcome you all again. And during this lecture, so you should open your mind as well as open your book. Must be a book during the session, because there are so many reactions in that, and it's very difficult to recall this reaction and all that. It is better to write all these reactions particularly on a book during this lecture. And if you have any difficulty regarding this lecture, so you should comment on a Google Classroom as well as WhatsApp group. Now you know that, so basically first of all you know that acetylides, the word, so you know that in organic compounds, or the naming of organic compounds are two types. Whenever for example, you know that, so there are three forms of what carbon. As we seen, there are three types of what carbons. Generally what, a simple neutral carbon called the carbon. Okay, one another form of the carbon is called carbide, carbanion or carbide. You know that negative charge of the carbon. And second is called carbonium. So you know that, see the name, how their names are different. Carbon converts to carbide, carbon converts to carbonium. So a neutral element is called what, the carbon. Negative form of its element is called what, the carbide or IDE. We are substitute the IDE. Similarly, a positive form of the any element, we can substitute what, the IUM, element or molecule. Okay, like that. So IUM is nothing but what, there is a positive charge present in the molecule. Same way, acetylide is a word which is derived from what, the acetylene. If you remove the proton from the acetylene, it results in the formation of what, the acetylides. Okay, and now, so before proceeding to the direct acetylides, so we first know about the chemistry of acetylides. Okay, how? So now in this lecture, the first 10 to 15 slides are general introductory part about the acetylides. Okay, how it will be produced and all that. Okay, we start this today's session. Particularly in this session, first we will see the introductory part of that alkynes. You know that alkynes, because acetylides is the part of what, hydrocarbon. Okay, it is derived from hydrocarbon. Now first look at the introductory part. Alkynes, you know that, contains then triple bond, carbon carbon triple bond, and the general formula for that is CnH2n minus 2. This is an formula for what, the alkynes. Okay, it is an part, it is an what, one of the category of hydrocarbon. There is an two elements which present the unsaturation. Okay, that is carbon and carbon, and in that of what, there is a triple bond is present. Many of the reactions particularly are quite similar to that of what the alkenes. Okay, so you know that many of the reactions that are similar, but some reactions like oxidation and reductions are quite different particularly from what the other. Okay, so this is first three general part particularly for this one. Okay, that is, many of the reactions are similar to that of what alkene, but most commonly that is oxidation and some other reactions like hydration and all that, they are quite different particularly to alkynes. Now nomenclature, you know that every compound should nomenclate using the IUPAC or using a common name. So first of all, you are finding the select the longest carbon chain. Okay, you know that generally we are preferenced from the starting to the triple bond. And you know that if your hydrocarbon is the replacement of what, ANE by what, the YNE. Number of the chain that is starting or closest to what, the your triple bond, and from that we can counting that number of carbon. So you should get the highest chain and give the branches. If the branches is there, we can call as a substituents and all that. Okay, and we have to locate that position. So if you want to nomenclate any organic compound, so you should know the four important parts. One is what, that is called the root word, whether how many number of carbons are present. Okay, meth, eth, etc, etc, 1 carbon, 2 carbon, we have to find the longest chain. Okay, then we have to find out the functional group. First of all, which type of the function group is present and what is the position in that. Then after that, so type of saturation, whether it is an N, in or Yne, and lastly substituents. So there are very simple 4 rules to predict the nomenclature of any organic compound. Okay, let's move to the next part. Now examples of the nomenclature. Okay, now you know that alkyne means carbon carbon triple bond, and triple bonds are of again 2 types. Either the triple bond is present in between the molecule or in between the you know that one of the best example is butane and 1 butane and 2 butane. You know that what is the difference in between the 1 and 2 butane? So 1 butane is having what the triple bond present at the terminal side, and in 2 butane the triple bond is present at the inner side. Okay, so based on that we have example and we are classified these 2 points. So so there are some example in that. So find out this. So firstly, so what is the IUPAC name of this molecule now? So starting from what? So we should first apply the carbon number of carbon bond, and the numbering should be starting from what the triple bond. So in the first structure, so the triple bond is present at the second position. Okay, and the double bond is present at the 1, 2, 3, 4 position. So the structure should be 2 methyl 1 pentane 3 in, according to what the first or previous IUPAC name, but now the rule is changed and we are starting from what the triple bond. Okay, this is the name particularly for that compound. You can write the structure and write down, try to note the name. Then after that another is called this one. So starting from again the triple bond. Okay, so but 3 wine to all. Now you know that in this case, so OH group is more priority than what the alkyne, that's why we are starting from what the OH. Another example is given now, methoxy group is there, again the same. So we are starting from the number that is from so 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. Okay, so 4 methoxy hexyne hex 2 yne. This is an IUPAC name of this molecule. Okay, so generally we have to follow OH is more priority group than the triple bond, that's why we have to take this. Okay, and methoxy is lesser priority group, that's why we have to choose like this. Okay, so common names of this one, so name as a substituted acetylene, and you know that there are 2 types of what acetylenes are there. One is called methyl acetylene, in which the triple bond is present at the terminal side, and second is called this one, that is butyl isopropyl acetylene, or we can take the simple example as in what 2 butane, right? 2 butane, this is called internal alkyne. So basically there are what the 2 types of what alkynes are there. One is a your terminal, and second is a internal. Physical property, you know that is an hydrocarbon, so must be insoluble in water and all that. So the many properties are quite different. It's non-polar, insoluble in water, must be soluble, then must be soluble in the organic solvents. Okay, and boiling points are quite similar to that of what alkane, of the same size, generally C2 C4 equivalent to like that. It is less dense than what the water, and lastly up to 4 carbons it is a gas. Okay, and after that it converts to first a liquid, and then after that what the solid and all that. Okay, so up to 4 member carbon, so it becomes an, or it is a gases at room temperature. Okay, now the most interesting part is an acetylene. Why this is an show unusual behavior than other hydrocarbons, and that's why they have lots of application. It is used in the welding torches, in pure oxygen the test to 2800 degrees Celsius temperature. It would violently decompose this to the element, but the cylinder on the torch contain the crushed fire brick, and wet with acetone to moderate it. So many times it is used in the that process and all that. Okay, for the lighting purpose and all that. Now how to synthesize that acetylene? Okay, so we have to synthesize the C2H2 molecule, and what are the methods from that? You know that carbide in a first semester, I think in a first or second semester there was one chapter, sorry, in first semester, metal clusters or metal carbide. So you know that metal carbide is a MC bond, and if you hydrolyze that MC bond, it will be converts to what? Metal hydride plus your hydrocarbon. So similarly calcium carbide is the best example, or it is the best source to produce what the acetylene. Now look at some reactions here. Heat coke, that is in carbon, okay, with lime in an electric furnace to form a calcium carbide. So first we have to produce the calcium carbide, that is an CaC2. Then drip into the water on the calcium carbide, okay. So basically the reaction is like this one. So 3 carbon, that is a coke, plus lime, that is calcium oxide, combined together there is a formation of what calcium carbide as a metallic compound, okay. And after that, that will be get hydrolysis, and that produces what, the acetylene, okay. So this is the reactions from which we will get, you will get the hydrocarbon, that is acetylene, okay. This reaction was used to produce the light for mines, okay, miners lamp, and for the stages and etc, okay. This is a synthetic part of the acetylene, okay. Move to the molecular structure of what acetylene. You know that is a carbon carbon triple bond, so the hybridization should be sp and all that. The triple bonded carbon have sp hybrid orbital, a sigma bond is formed between the carbon carbon, that is overlapping, called sp overlapping, okay. And sigma bonds to the hydrogens are formed using what, the again s of hydrogen and p of the carbon, okay. Again have the same hybridization like that. So that's why the molecule is linear, and sp orbitals are what, linear. So the structure should be like this. So this is the structure of what your acetylene, that is a linear molecule. It may be terminal or it may be what, internal. Then what is the overlap of p orbital of acetylene? So there is one picture that showing the overlapping, what type of the overlapping is present in that. In this case, what we first see the diagram. Here this is the structure of the compound that is called acetylene, and you know that at the right side of the slide, so there is one spherical shape sized colored system is there given. So you know that at the two end of that spherical molecule, so we see the some blue region, okay, that indicate that it's a less electron dense. But at the middle part of that spherical molecule, there is what, the a large electron density is present, you know, due to the pi bond, okay. So pi bonds are the which are developed due to the lateral overlapping of that, okay. So in this way we can explain the structure, molecular properties, physical properties, and all that with respect to what, your triple bond, that is an acetyl molecule, okay. This is all about the general introductory part of what acetylene. So before starting that acetylides, we should know the concept behind why we are dealing with that acetylene now, okay, and how to reach up to that acetylides, okay. Now this each carbon in acetylene had 2 unhybridized p orbital, that's why they becomes an pi bonded system and all that, and it is overlap of the parallel p orbital that form what, the 2 pi bond. So basically, so in acetylene, so there is a 3 sigma and 2 pi bonds are present. 2 sigma bonds are particularly for CH, 1 sigma bond particularly for what, the carbon carbon. So basically there are 3 sigma bond and 2 pi bonds are present, okay. Now 2 pi bonds are between the carbon and carbon. So this is like the structure of the molecule that's called the acetylene, okay. Now let's move the just compare between the 3 part of your hydrocarbon, that is alkane, alkyne, and that's called the alkene, okay. Now the bond length in a hydrocarbon, you know that both all these 3 category of hydrocarbons are quite different. They show the different chemical as well as physical properties. The triple bonds are generally shorter, you know that, than what the second is shorter than what the single bond, because of the presence of the type of what bonding and all that. So look at this first category, that is an alkane, saturated hydrocarbon, where carbon and carbon single bond is present. In case there is a bond angle is what, bond length is a 1.54. In case of what alkene, where carbon carbon double bond is there, so there is a shorter in the bond length, and the bond length is 1.133 or 1.34 sometime, okay, angstrom. And lastly, look at this structure now. This structure, that is an here, this is what the HC triple bond H, that is an acetylene. Again carbon carbon bond length is again shorter than what the previous structure, so the length is what, the 1.20. Look at these first 3 structures now. You find that a triple bond is more stronger than what the double is more stronger than what the a single. So similarly, it's very difficult to break the triple bond, Okay, it required more and more energy. If we count the energy content particularly here, 300 and something kilocalorie energy is required to break the single bond. It's double, 600 for double bond, and 800 and something is required for what the triple bond. So basically I just want to say that so the triple bonds are more stronger than what the double, while double is more stronger than what the single bond. Okay, and that's why due to the presence of such type of the bonding, all the chemical reactions are quite different in this case. Okay, so now there is a too much voice due to the train, because I okay fine, oh shit, okay fine. So we will move to the another most important property of that hydrocarbon, that is an acidity. You know that the concept of acidity arises when if you take the compound and react it with the base, if there is a decrease in the pH and all that. Okay, so such type of the reaction is called the neutralization reactions. So whenever you have, for example, an acid and we reacted with the base now, so there is a formation of an salt. Ultimately there is a decrease in pH. Okay, the base decreases the pH, acid increases the pH now, particularly like that. So there is a formation of what the neutral salt. Similarly, now we have three different types of hydrocarbon: alkane, alkene and alkyne. What will happen if we take the separate three vessels and if we put three hydrocarbons in that, alkene, alkene and alkyne, and respectively we are adding what the bases in that, what will happen? Okay, now look at this table and imagine what exactly happened with that your vessels. Now in this table, first of all, look at the compound, look at the conjugate base, look at the hybridization, look at the S character and what the pKa. It's all the dissociation constant particularly for an acids. Okay, now the relationship, now first look at the relationship between them. You know that pKa is particularly for what the acid, and always whenever the higher the pKa, lower will be the acidity. Higher the pKa, lower will be the acidity, or reverse case one, lower the pKa, higher will be the what acidity. This is the first relationship. Okay, now second is, if the percentage of S characters increase, nucleophilic characters also increase, what it can loses easily the hydrogen. So basically as per the S characters increases, the S character increases what, the percentage of S character increases, acidic strength is also what increases. This is the second relationship. Now we will move to the third one. As the S percentage increases, electronegativity also increases, and due to the increase in electronegativity, you know that the acidic strength is what again increase. So from this three conclusion or three simple the variation in that, so we can simply you can have this three structure: alkane, alkyne and alkene respectively, and after releasing the proton from that, you get the conjugate base. You know that what is conjugate base? A conjugate base, for example, we have water. Okay, and water loses the proton, what will happen? It becomes a hydroxide ion. That hydroxide ion is a conjugate base of water. What is conjugate base? A conjugate base is a negative charge species where a lesser number of proton than what the its neutral form. That is, if you have water, if you remove the proton from water, what will happen? It becomes an hydroxide ion. So that OH negative is a conjugate base of what? That neutral molecule. What is conjugate acid now? If you add one proton in the water now, H2O becomes a converts what? H3O plus. Then conjugate acid, it is called what? The conjugate acid is always have the positive charge. It is one of the concept in acid and base theory, that is conjugate acid base. So conjugate acid is a one more proton than neutral form, while conjugate base is a one less proton than what the your neutral molecule. Similarly, after losing that proton from three respectively hydrocarbons, you get the conjugate bases. Okay, now the question is, which negative charge is developed, which is a stabilized in three molecule, either first one, either second one, or the third one, and that will be decided by what the S character as well as the pKa value. Okay, so now in first case the hybridization is sp3, second case is sp2, and third case is what the sp. Similarly, we have the hybridization is this is an hybridization. The percentage of S character in sp3 is what? 25. Percentage of S in sp2 is a 33, and percentage of S in a sp is a 50. Now as the percentage of S character increases, electronegativity also increases and results in the acidic strength is also increases. From top to bottom acidic strength is increased and the negative charge can be easily stabilized by what the alkyne, on alkyne, then what the alkene, and then what the alkane. So from top to bottom the stability of that negative ion is get more due to the percentage of what the S character. And lastly the pK, most important property is what the pK. What is pK now? It is an dissociation constant for an acid. So for pK for the pK for alkene is an 50, pK for alkene is a 44, and for what the alkyne it is an 25. So again we can conclude that higher the pK, lower the acidity, lower the pK, higher will be the acidic strength. So from that we can simply conclude that, so we can easily remove the proton from what the alkynes, okay, because there is a formation of stable conjugate base. It can be, the negative charge can be stabilized by 2 pi bond, okay. That's why this is most importantly I conclude this first part of this today's session based on that what hydrocarbon, that is an acetylene, okay. We are not yet started our point, that is an acetylides, okay. This is all about the general introductory part of what acetylene, okay, like that. So we are again starting again we are conclusion is what terminal alkynes are more acidic than what other hydrocarbons due to the higher S character because of what the sp hybridization. Terminal alkynes can be easily deprotonated with what the quantitatively stronger bases like sodamide. You know that NaNH2, it is also sometimes it is called the super base. It is called the super bases are potassium amide, that is KNH2, and NH2 are the powerful bases that are very useful to remove the proton from what the alkynes specially, okay. You know that Birch reduction and all that, in that case we are also use the sodamide, this one. And lastly hydroxide and alkoxide bases are not, hydroxide and alkoxide bases are generally not used for this process, okay. इसलिए आपको ये चीज़ें पता होनी चाहिए कि हम जनरली अल्कोक्साइड या हाइड्रोक्साइड जो है हम सीसी बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन में यूज़ करते हैं, लेकिन कहाँ पे कंडेंसेशन रिएक्शन, बिकॉज दे आर वीकर बेसिस दैन व्हाट द सोडामाइड. और सोडामाइड और पोटेशियम अमाइड कैसे वाले बेसिस है, दे आर वेरी पावरफुल बेसिस, दे कैन रिमूव द प्रोटॉन इवन फ्रॉम लीस्ट एसिडिक सेंटर, ओके. सो पीके 25 मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा एसिडिक नहीं है वो, okay. That's why, so you must compare which type of the bases are used, okay, at which position. So that's why we have to know all these things and all that, okay. Now और इस फर्स्ट सेशन का यहीं पे मैं सम अप करता हूँ इसको, ओके. और जो नेक्स्ट पार्ट आपका रहेगा इसी सेशन का, वो हम देखते हैं कि यहाँ से हमारा टॉपिक शुरू हो जाएगा, दैट इज़ एसिटालाइड्स. इसका फॉर्मेशन कैसे होता है, ओके, और इसके यूजेस क्या हो सकते हैं ऑर्गेनिक सिंथेसिस में, वो आपका इसेंशियल टॉपिक रहेगा, ठीक है, जो सिलेबस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू है. और जो भी हमने अभी तक पढ़ा हुआ है, जो अभी तक हमने ये लेक्चर देखा, ये सिर्फ इंट्रोडक्टिव पार्ट है एसिटालाइड तक पहुंचने के लिए. इसलिए डायरेक्टली एसिटालाइड को ना शुरू करते हुए, सो वी आर स्टार्टेड, आई थिंक दैट, सो आई थॉट फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल कि यू मस्ट नो ऑल दिस थिंग्स अप टू रीच अप टू व्हाट द एसिटालाइड्स, ओके. नहीं तो मेरे पास ऑलरेडी आई हैव ऑलरेडी प्रिपेयर्ड ऑल दिस सेशन एंड ऑल दैट, ओके. सो इट इज़ बेटर टू स्टार्ट फ्रॉम एसिटालाइड्स to minimize the times and all that, okay. But I thought you must know all these things which are required particularly for the acetalides and all that, okay. Thank you for the first sessions. We will proceed for the second.